From the moment you crack open the June 2003 issue of WWE Raw magazine, you're hit with a tidal wave of ruthless aggression energy. Bold photography, glossy layouts, and a swaggering confidence that WWE is the only game in town. Before a single feature begins, the opening pages serve up a sprawling replica championship cataloged from Figures Toy Company, a shrine to gold for the devoted fan. The gleaming World Heavyweight Championship, the undisputed WWE Championship, the women's title with Trish Stratus's nameplate, the cruiserweight strap bearing the Hurricane's mask. Every belt is offered in adult, kid, deluxe, and mini formats. Each is described with collector's precision. 2mm thick medallions, genuine simulated leather, waist sizes up to 46 inches, straps that gleam under arena lights. There's even a Kane replica mask molded from the real thing, built with leather, ready for display or intimidation. The tone is unapologetic, bring the arena home, and sets the stage for an issue obsessed with the larger-than-life. The table of contents teases the stories to come. Fantasy warfare, pitting Mil Mascaras against Rey Mysterio. A gut-punch courage feature on Kurt Angle risking it all for WrestleMania. More gore for your buck, charting Rhino's intense return. A Raw interview with Sable on her controversial comeback. The collision course between Triple H and Goldberg. The inspirational rise of Zach Gowen. The rise of Team Angle's Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. And a legend spotlight on George the Animal Steele. Departments promise a quirky personal detail from Trish Stratus. Reader letters, Jim Ross's no-nonsense Ross from Ringside column. Backstage gossip in the Raw. Terry Runnels' unfiltered Raw sex advice column, and a photo-packed Journey to Mania wrap-up. The opener, something you didn't know about Trish Stratus, reveals a surprising travel essential, Kool-Aid. For Trish, it's as essential as socks and underwear in her luggage. From childhood memories of her mother making it, to sugar-free packets stuffed 2 per day into her travel bag, to a trainer's advice that water is better with cherry or grape, the piece paints her as both fitness icon and creature of endearing habit. Letters to the editor gives fans the mic. Teresa from Brooklyn gushes over Kevin Nash's return and Lance Storm's book picks. Tori calls for more coverage of Victoria and Molly Holly over Trish, Stacy, and Tori. Melissa from Iowa praises Goldust for showing that being different still fits in WWE. Fabian Sincere Phillips from Dallas defends hip-hop's true roots in response to a Cena profile, while Suzanne from Cena's hometown celebrates his success. Irene S. likes Cena's drive, says Tori looks her best yet, but calls the Kevin Nash interview and Mr. Perfect tribute her all-time favorites. Jim Ross's Ross from Ringside dismantles myths about WWE's grueling schedule, comparing the modern 4-days-a-week setup to the non-stop grind of his Mid-South days. JR recalls long car rides with grizzled veterans, the choices wrestlers made about who they traveled with, and the colorful nightly lectures on payoffs, booking, and opponents. He stresses that talent can and do request time off, that WWE invests in safer rings and trainers, and that while the business will never be easy or injury-free, personal responsibility is paramount. In the Raw, captures the chaos of WrestleMania 19 fan access in Seattle. Over 10,000 fans in 3 days meeting superstars, loading up on merch, and watching Shelton Benjamin win the THQ Jack's video game tournament over Steven Richards. Stephanie McMahon fields fan questions. Christian and the Hurricane square off in virtual battle, and Hulk Hogan poses for the faithful. Terry Runnels' raw sex is blunt and bracing. From advising a man whose girlfriend insulted his size, to telling a caller when to reveal he has a child, to warning a married man tempted by a flirtatious coworker, her advice mixes sisterly candor with diva sass, making it clear she's not here to coddle anyone's ego. The fantasy warfare feature imagines Mil Mascaras versus Rey Mysterio. Mascaras, the 245-pound aerial pioneer of the 60s and 70s, boasts a resume of Mexican and NWA titles, Madison Square Garden milestones, and a style ahead of its time. Mysterio, 5-time WCW Cruiserweight Champion, is portrayed as the perfected evolution. Faster, more innovative, with the devastating 619 and springboard cradle Hurricane Rana in his arsenal. The verdict: Mascaras laid the foundation, but Mysterio's modern mastery would overwhelm him. Angle's courage chronicles Kurt Angle's harrowing road to WrestleMania 19. 4 weeks before his match with Brock Lesnar, his neck was failing, his arm losing strength, and fusion surgery loomed. Cleared for one more match, Angle pushed to make it WrestleMania. A chance introduction to Dr. Hae-Dong Joe's minimally invasive procedure, recovery in months instead of a year, gave him hope. He wrestled Lesnar with half strength in one arm and a hamstring tear, then had surgery on April 11th. Post-op, he vowed to wrestle smarter, adding more amateur style to prolong his career. More gore for your buck, finds Rhino clawing back from 16 months on the shelf after fusion surgery. Depression, muscle atrophy, and strict limitations on pile drivers and pinning situations made his road brutal. Support from Chris Benoit helped him push through. And his return to SmackDown in London, Ontario, brought an ovation he'll never forget. Now paired with Benoit, Rhino eyes singles gold, calling wrestling his second marriage, and vowing to keep the intensity but with smarter execution. The Raw interview with Sable is a headline maker. She revisits her '99 peak, Playboy cover, Attitude-era stardom, and the ugly fallout of lawsuits and accusations. Her April 2003 return shocked fans. And here she admits past mistakes, says fences have been mended, and focuses on the unique connection with audiences that drew her back. She's older, wiser, and intent on navigating WWE with a better understanding of its politics. Collision Course sets up Triple H versus Goldberg as more than storyline. A collision of dominance, ego, and ideology. Triple H is the cerebral kingpin guarding his throne. Goldberg, the WCW juggernaut, brings raw power and the weight of a streak-turned legend. The friction is real, the locker room split, and the match is framed as a potential career definer for both. Amazing with a Z tells Zach Gowen's story. Cancer survivor, leg amputated at 8, who refused to accept limits. Self-taught on trampolines, idolizing Michaels and Hart, he built a name on the independents until WWE came calling. He sees his role not as a sideshow, but as proof that disability doesn't define ability. Team Terrific celebrates Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, Kurt Angle's hand-picked protégés. Benjamin's explosiveness and Haas's mat mastery are praised as the perfect blend of athleticism and technical skill. They're determined to prove they're not just support for Angle, but the future of tag wrestling. The Legends Profile, a legendary beast, honors George the Animal Steele. From Michigan schoolteacher to unhinged WWE attraction, his turnbuckle-tearing antics, feuds with Sammartino and Savage, and ability to blend menace with charm made him unforgettable. Beneath the wildness was a sharp wrestling mind, and the piece treats him as a cornerstone of WWE's character-driven heritage. Final departments bring In the Raw, Quick Hit Gossip, and The Finisher, a WrestleMania 19 recap that relives Lesnar's botched shooting star press, Michaels versus Jericho's emotional embrace, Hogan and McMahon's blood feud, and Rock versus Austin III's legendary curtain call. Ads and promos for DVDs, merch, and games weave through to the last page, sealing the issue as a time capsule of WWE's marketing muscle and creative confidence in 2003. This Raw magazine is more than a collection of articles. It's a snapshot of WWE firing on all cylinders, honoring its past, celebrating its present, and pushing its future with a mix of grit, spectacle, and unapologetic swagger.